everyone, my name is Hemu and today's we are going to discuss routing in your Palo Alto Firewall. So this particular topic I have divided into three parts. So majorly I am focusing here your dynamic routing protocols, right? So in first lab we are going to see how to configure routing using the RIP protocol in your Palo Alto Firewall. In subsequent lectures, I'm going to cover your OSPF protocol as well and your BGP protocol as well. So this is the main agenda for this particular session. And for this particular session, I'm going to use this particular lab. In this lab, I have my Palo Alto Firewall and this Palo Alto Firewall running PAN operating system 10.0.0. So I'm having here PAN OS 10. I have my outside area where I have put one router. And in outside I'm using 151.0.0/24 series, and these are the some more subnet which is also available in this particular router, so I will create a loopback for them. Apart from that, I have a inside interface which is Ethernet 1x2. In inside area I'm using the subnet 10.1.0.0/24. Here I have a inside R2 router and inside R3 router. Basically in R3 router, I'm going to create these loopbacks. In similar way, I have a DMZ0 and I have a DMZ1. So this is my lab, guys. Now what we will do, first we are going to see how we can just do the configuration of this particular lab, right? So let me just take the access of my routers. I will just start with the routers. Just open. R4, R5. Let me take the access of Palo Alto as well. Cool. So I will start with the outside router R1 configuration. I will start from this router. You have to run this command no. And guys, if you know the router configuration, it's just a easy thing actually. I finally got the access. So right now I am on a user access mode. So I'll go into the privilege mode by running this enable command. I'll go into the configure mode, configure terminal or conft. Now just change the host name first. Host name is out R1. Interface F0x0. This is the interface which is connecting with the Palo Alto. And on this interface, I'm going to configure IP address, which is 151.0.1, 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Exit. So like that, I have configured my outside interface. In similar way, I will configure the some loopback interface. So I will just type in interface loopback. I will create loopback 1. And IP address on this loopback interface is 151.1.1/24. Do so run and so run interface. Run this command. Okay, so let me just look for loopback. Right, ma'am. Let me just save the configuration. Let me open the notepad. I just wanted to make this particular process fast. So running configuration. So I will create some type of a script basically. You can go here. I'll type the name. I go here and I'll just write it as outside R1. This is the config. I'll put this. Now this is how you have to do the configuration here. You have to type host name, which is out R1, right? So it will create your CLI configuration basically. So if somebody wants to escape all these steps, right, you can refer this particular config part. Now I will create loop back 2. In loop back 2, I will use the series 151.2.1. Then we have a loop back 3. Here I'm going to use 3 series. Then I have a loop back 4, and I'm going to use here 4.1 series, right? And I have till 7, right? Then loop back 4. Here you have to just change the IP address. Then loop back 5. You have to change the IP address here as well. Then loop back 6. I have to just change the IP address here 6. So we have a 5, 6. We do have a 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think here we have to put 5, then 5, 6, 6, 7, then 7, right? You can, if you want, you can do it everything there, but I'm just going in this way. Just copy. I'll go here and I'll just paste. Conf T. So IP route. So IP interface brief. You can check. This is the interfaces details. Now on this device, I am also going to configure telnet. So I will run this command. Line bty 0 to 4. Line bty 0 to 4. Login local. Exit. Crypto. I will enable the SHS as well. Crypto key generate. RSA 1024. Press the question mark. Modulus 1024. Journal keys. So if you want to generate the crypto key, you have to define the domain name. So IP, domain name, lab.local. Now run this command. It will generate the crypto keys. Then IP, SHS, version 2, line BTY 024, transport, input, all. It will enable telnet and SHS both. Username, Cisco, privilege 15, and password is also Cisco. IP, HTTP, authentication, local, IP, HTTP, server. Do right, ma'am. This is the some extra configuration which also you needs to do on this router. So we can just test by taking the telnet and other thing. Do so history. So this is the thing which I have tried. Just copy from here. Line VTY 024, login local. Transport input all. You have to remove this exit, not needed. This is also, you can remove it. Now you can go like that. It, it will enable SSH and HTTPS. Okay, cool. So guys, this is the configuration which you need to do in your outside router, right? Now in the similar way, what do you have to do? You have to do the configuration in your inside R2 router, right? Inside R2 router, config is very easy. You can just go here and run this command no. Just wait here. Meanwhile, go here as well, type no. Hit enter. Type no, hit enter. Enable conft host name inside R2. Interface F0 by 0. IP address is 10.1.0.1. 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Exit. Then interface F0 by 1. IP address is 10.1.1.1. No shutdown. Exit. And after that, once you will run this thing, now you have to go here into your notepad. Just enable these services: telnet, SHS, and HTTPS. Do so history. So this is the command which I have tried. If I want to make the configuration step for R2 router, this is the one. Inside R2. Host name inside R2. Interface details. And after that, we have this similar configuration till here. Now we will just do the configuration in your next router, which is inside R3. So I'll just change the name here inside R3. Host name is inside R3. Now in this inside R3, if you will check here, we have an interface F0 by 0, where I want to configure the IP address, which is 10.1.1. I will use here 2. And after that, I just have some loopback interface like 10.1.2.0, 3.0 and all, right? I'll go here. Ten dot one dot one dot two. Now 10.1.1. What is this? 10.1.2.1. 10.1.3.1, 4.1, 5.1. Here we have a 6.1. Then we have a 7.1. And we have a, yeah, till 7 we are having. So this one is not needed. Now what I can do, I'll simply go here, copy everything till here, Control C, go here, go inside this device, enable conf T and just paste everything. So IP interface brief, you can check. So IP interface brief 10.1.1.2, 10.1.2.1, 3.1, 4.1, 5.1, 6.1, and 7.1, right? So this is how we have to do the configuration in your R3 router. Now let's make the configuration for DMZ R4 router. Config is very easy for this device as well. I'll just copy this one. I'll go here. Go till here. Copy. Give the name DMZ R4. DMZ1 R4, and I'm using here 10.2.1 series, right? So this is the host name. 10.2.0.1. 10.2.0.1 IP address on F0 by 0 interface. Then we have a loopback interface. Here I am going to just copy this part and go here. 10.2.1.1. These are the loopback starting from 1.0 till 7, right? So simply just change these values and it will automatically apply everything. Till 7, leave all the everything is like that. Go here, just copy. Just paste in this particular R4 device. This is how, guys, we have to bring our lab up and running. Do so IP interface brief, you can check. We have everything. Now go here and DMZ R4 and let's do the configuration on this device as well. DMZ2, device name is R5. DMZ2 and device name is R5. Here we are using 10.3. Series. Okay, 10.3.0.1 here, and then 1, 2, 3 till 7. 10.3.0.1, then 10.3.1.1, 10.2.1, 10.3.3.1, 10.3.4.1, 10.3.5.1, 10.3.6.1, 10.3.7.1. Copy from here, copy, go into this device, go into config mode and just run your script. So guys, finally, we have successfully completed the configuration of your router. Let me just store this configuration here, right? Rip lab config. Just save this information somewhere now. Once you will complete that part, because you know these routers we have successfully configured. Now we will start our Palo Alto Firewall configuration. So config is very easy. Let me just increase the size of Palo Alto Firewall. Now you have to log in. Login with username is admin and password is also admin, which is a default password. Enter the old password is also admin, all in small letters. Now enter the new password. So I will just set the new password here, which is admin with capital A at the rate 123. Admin at the rate 123. Let me just write down what I did here. I have entered this username, which is admin. Then here I have entered the password, which is also admin. Then old password is also admin. And this new password I have set here, admin at the rate 123. And guys, you can configure any password here. Then you have to put the password confirmation, which is same, admin at the rate 123. So guys, you have to make sure when you are entering this password, you have to make sure if you are not configuring this one, then you can configure any, but that password is 8 character longs. It needs some numeric numbers, some special characters, and some small and capital letters. So you have to go in that combination, means you have to make some difficult combination here. And after that, guys, once you will go into this one, right now I am on now Palo Alto Firewall operational mode. I'll go here, I'll just configure this, run this command configure. I will go into the config mode and where I will run this command, which is set device config host name. Set device config system host name. Host name is Palo Alto Firewall 01. Set device config system type static. By default, guys, DHCP is enabled in your management interface. So I am just running this command set device config system type static, which means now I want a static IP address on my Palo Alto firewall. After that, type your IP address 192.168.137.10 net mask 255.255.255.0 and default gateway 192.168.137.2. So in single command, I have configured the IP address, net mask, and default gateway. I run this command again, set device config system DNS settings, DNS server details. Primary server is, I will use 8.8.8 public server. Secondary is 4.2.2.2. Now guys, apart from that, if you want to configure some other setting, here you have to just press the question mark, you will get, you are allowed to configure these many settings. Let's suppose you only want to access this device from some specific port number, specific IP address, right? Like here you can put your BDI server details, your jump host server details from where you want to access the Palo Alto Firewall using SSH or using the web browser. So I will also add here, I will just access this firewall from this range only. Like that, you can basically put that data. Apart from that, even though by default, guys, in your Palo Alto firewall, services like ping, SHS and HTTPS is enabled. Okay. But if you want to enable the telnet, what do you have to? You can run this command, disable telnet. No, it will enable the telnet. Disable HTTP. No, it will enable the HTTP. So you like that, if you will do that, then your HTTP and telnet start running. But I am not going to do that. I am not going to do that because ICMP, your HTTPS and SHS is already enabled in your management interface. So which is sufficient for me. You can also define the NTP server detail if you know. If you know the NTP server, you can define these NTP servers. So like if I'll go here, if I'll type India public NTP server. So we have this URL 0.n.pool.ntp.org. In that case, you can configure these details. Zero.n.pool 0.n.pool.ntp.org. Then secondary NTP server. Okay, syntax is invalid. NTP server address, and after that you have to put that particular details. Okay, 0.n.pool.ntp.org. So like that, you can able to configure this detail. If you want, you can configure the authentication, which is none. Press the question mark, hit enter. Now you can basically configure the secondary as well. Secondary NTP server. And here you can just put 1. Like that, we can able to configure the NTP details as well. This is the command which I have tried. Once you do all of them, guys, what you have to do now, you have to run this commit command. And meanwhile, just open the command prompt in your laptop and just initiate a ping to 192.168.137.10 with -t. So once this commit will complete, what this commit used to do, whatever changes we will did, because whenever we will do any type of configuration in your Palo Alto firewall, what it used to do, Palo Alto firewall used to store all the configuration into your candidate config file. This is the file where it used to store all the configuration, and this candidate config file is available into your management plane, and that file is stored inside the SSD hard disk. Once we will run the commit command here, whatever changes we will did, these changes is copied from this candidate config file, and it will basically store into the running configuration, running config file. That config file is available in your data plane. It will store inside the RAM. And whatever configuration is available or you are able to see, which is an active state in your Palo Alto firewall, is known as a running configuration, means the active configuration. Now you can see we have successfully completed the commit around 98%, which means almost completed. And you can see ping has started working. Even though if I try to take the SHS of this device, I can also able to do the SHS. SHS also will work because ping, SHS and HTTPS, these 3 services is available. So you can see I'll get the warning to accept the public key. I have it stored and I can log in. You can see I'll got the SHS access as well of my Palo Alto device. I'll go here. I'll close it. Sorry, I have wrongly closed this. So I'll open the EVNG directly. Now I'll go here and I'll just type here HTTPS 192.168.137.10 and I'll get the access of my device through this particular web browser. And I will just put the credential here, admin and admin at 123, and I will get the access of my Palo Alto Firewall. Now I will open my mobile extreme, guys. This is the very nice tool which I generally use because it will give you some, when you run any command, it will give you some color coding and other things. Okay, I'll open this device now. I'll go here. It is still loading, so we have to wait. So guys, finally, if you have seen, we got the access of our Palo Alto through this particular browser, right? We got the access. And this is the SHS of it. And from here also you will get the access. So guys, now let's see how we can do the rest of the configuration basically. So I have completed almost all the configuration which I need to do as a like basic configuration part. But apart from that, I have not done the domain name configuration and I have not changed my time zone. This is the thing. So you can also try doing these things with the help of CLI. Command is very simple. But we can also do the same thing with the help of GUI as well, like set. You have to go into the configure mode. Let me increase the size little bit more. Then you have to type set device config system domain name. You can define the domain name like lab.local. Then set device config system time zone. You can define like I am in India, so I will go with Asia, Kolkata. Like that, you can change. You can also allow to change the time zone. Now, if I will refresh here, you will able to see these value will also reflect. See, lab.local and Asia Kolkata. So CLI is very good, guys. Now, what I will do now, I'll directly jump into my network tab, and here I have to configure the interfaces, and I have to configure the security zone, and I have to configure the virtual router. I'll just delete this default virtual router. I will create my own. And guys, if you want to configure any routing in your Palo Alto firewall, you have to go with the concept of virtual routers. Okay, I'll go here. So how you can start? You can either you can just go here, give the comment here. This is my outside interface according to our lab. You can see Ethernet 1x1 outside interface type is layer 3. Then virtual router. So we don't have any virtual router, so we have to create the virtual router. This is the one thing which you need to do. Give the name here VR01. Now we have to create the security zone. Security zone is outside. You have to go into IPv4 address and you have to configure the IP address, which is 151.0.250. 151.0.0.250/24. Go into advanced, make this interface up. configure the interface management profile and enable the ping service, because by default we are not able to ping any interface of your Palo Alto firewall. So we have to just enable this ping service. So at least we can able to do the ping. And all these settings we will leave default. Just click on OK. Now you can see we have successfully configured the Ethernet 1x1 interface. And if you want to see the similar thing, what I did in GUI, you can run this command set CLI config output format. In set means I want to see all my configuration in set format, and you can go here, you can run this command. So network, so zone detail, you will run this command so you can able to see the zone details. So network virtual router, you can able to see the virtual router detail. And so network interfaces, and this is how you can able to see the interface details. So now let's suppose if you just want to create one more virtual router, what you have to do, you can use the CLI command like called set network virtual router BR02. It will create some extra virtual router. Now if you will go here into virtual router tab, you can able to check now. See, BR2 has been created. If you have seen, when I have tried running this command, right, we have only outside zone. Here also you can able to see just one zone, which is outside. Now if you want to create a zone, you can run this command set outside network layer 3 set zone inside, press the question mark, network layer 3 means I want to create a layer 3 zone, but you will get this warning here. Set zone inside, so it will create an inside zone. Set zone inside, type network layer 3, and you have to define one interface, and then only it will basically change the type. Otherwise you will see, if you go here, if you will refresh, by default it will create this zone, but type is nothing. By default you can see it is the type is going, which is tab, but we have to create a layer 3 type. Okay, so which is very easy only. Now you can go here and regarding the interfaces, right, this is how we have to basically do the interface related configuration. So like we have another interface, right? So I'll just copy this part, or let me run this command. So network interfaces. Now what you can do, the very first command which you need to run is this one. If you want to configure the next interface, which is inside, which is Ethernet 1x2. So it will basically just add a comment on it. And after that, what you have to do, you have to basically configure this part of it. Set network interface network Ethernet layer 3 means I'm changing the interface type, which is layer 3. And after that, you can run this command set zone inside network layer 3, and you can define the interface. So you have to run this. Sorry guys, I think I have wrong use. I've used this one, but because I have to change the interface type here because I have just used the previous one. Here I have to set up the interface type as Ethernet 1x2. And now I will run this command. Set zone inside layer 3. And now you can define your interface. Is not a valid reference. Network type is invalid. So the type of this interface is invalid. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, we have changed the type, which is fine. So let me just do everything from GUI, but after that I will create a CLI template because in CLI we have to just look for here and there options. I'll just create a CLI template again. That's not a problem. I'll go here. Before going into this one, let me just change the type of this zone inside, which is layer 3. Go here. Go again here and just now do your configuration. Interface type layer 3, virtual router, security zone. So you have to select your zone, which is inside. IPv4 address 10.1.0.250/24. This is the one. In advance, make this interface up and configure the interface management profile, which is ping. Click on OK. We did the configuration on this interface. Now I'll just move towards the next interface, which is Ethernet 1x3, which is on my DMZ1. So DMZ01, type is layer 3, virtual router VR0, and security zone is DMZ1. Ten dot 2.0.250/24. Make this interface up and select your interface management profile. Click on OK. Now go here and just do the configuration. DMZ02, this one, layer 3, VR0, security zone is DMZ2, and IPv4 address is 10.3.0.250/24. Make this interface up and configure the interface management profile. Click on OK. So we have just did the IP configuration. Now you can, before going for the commit, do one thing. I'm just adding one security policy, guys, which will allow all the traffic. Allow all. So it will allow all the traffic. Any to any. Allow everything because action is already allowed, right? Go ahead and just do the commit now. Now we have to wait for this commit to complete. Now you can see commit is going on, so we have to wait. So it's 99%. We have to wait. You can always check the details from here like so. Run, so jobs all. So guys, if you want to run any operational mode command into the configuration mode, you have to add the run keyword in front of that command. Commit is pending. This is the ID, so you can just run this command. You will able to see it has just completed. Means now configuration has been completed. Now guys, I was mentioning regarding the CLI script, right? How we can basically create the Palo Alto CLI script. So let me just create everything from the scratch, okay? And after that, I'll just go for the routing configuration. So device config system, you can run this command, and from here you can able to collect the thing. So I'll go here, I'll just type Palo Alto Firewall config. Now guys, in this firewall, what you have to do, the very first thing which you have to do is you have to configure the host name, right? So let me just copy everything till here. I'll go here. Now, this is not needed. This is also not needed because this is the default configuration which is already there. Time zone is needed. These two services also not required because they are already disabled. Now just put this part here on top. Now we have to change the time zone and we have to set the domain name. So we have configured host name, then domain name, then time zone, and now we are configuring the management interface, IP details, netmask, default gateway, then NTP servers. Then this is my permitted host. This is my DNS details, and guys, this is my NTP details. Until here only I need it, right? So this is the basic configuration. And after that, now what we have to do? Now we have to go here. So network virtual router. And you have to run this command to create a virtual router. This will create one virtual router. Now you can run this command. So network interfaces. This is your interface configuration. Link state up. Ethernet 1x1, then 1x2. We have 1x3 till here. Then we have a 1x4 till here, right? Now, once you will complete that part, what do you have to do now? We have to basically do the zone configuration. So zone details. Now we have to add the zone details. Now we have to add all these interfaces into my virtual router. So this is the command which we need to do. This is the guys CLI script basically. Till here, whatever we did, this is the CLI script so far in your Palo Alto Firewall. Okay. Now this configuration is done. You can go here, you can go into your network tab. Now you will see your interfaces in an up state. And if you go here, if you want to do the ping, now you can, even though you can also try running this command. So interface all, you will be able to see the details. These are your interfaces. These are the MAC address of your interfaces. These are the IP address in your interfaces. They are a part of this virtual router and they are a part of this particular zone. Okay. So zone. So we don't have any command like that, which we can run to just check the zone details directly. Now you have to run this command like ping source. Source is 10 dot. Let's suppose what I want to do. I want to just check the connectivity from Palo Alto till this router. So I will use this source 151.0.250, the IP address which I have configured on this interface. And after that, I will just put host, then IP address of this router. Then only my Palo Alto is able to ping. Source 150. Then what is the actual subnet 1.0.250 to host 151.0.1. You can see ping is working. So ARP, this is the command which we can run to check the ARP details. If you want to see the ARP for a specific interface, you can run this command. You will get the ARP details on that interface. We have this command, so MAC all, to check the MAC address table if there is any, right? So guys, this is the command. If you want to ping anything, any device who is in your behind this interface, you have to run this command, guys. You have to run this source, then you have to put the IP address of your Palo Alto firewall, then host. You can put any IP address now. Ping is working, right? So that's how we have to basically check the connectivity. Now, what we can do now, let's just start the RIP configuration. What? Now we will do the RIP configuration in your, first we will try in your routers, then we will just try in your where? Now after that we will just try in your firewall. But before that, guys, in your Palo Alto firewall, if you want to check the routing detail, you have to run this command. So routing route. This is the command here. You can able to see these are the routes. And right now I just have the static route. You can see A means active, C means connected, means all the routes which I am having, which are the connected ones only. Apart from that, this command, you can also able to try this command. So routing fib, it will give you the fib table. What is the forwarding information base? So guys, these are the some commands which we generally uses. Now what I will do, now I will just try to go for the configuration of RIP protocol and other things. Okay. How I have to do the configuration for that? I will start this configuration from my routers. So in my router, if I'll go here, if I'll open my topology, I will just start this RIP configuration from my outside R1 router. I'll go on my outside R1 router. Just decrease the size little bit. Yep. Enable conf t. You have to run this command router RIP, the first command, and after that you have to try it with version. I will use version 2. Then no auto summary. Then network. And guys, what I will do, I will just include all these networks just in one go. So what I have to do, I will go here, I will type 151.0.0 till 255, 255. So I have a 10.151.0.1, 2, then 240.0, or yeah, 240 will also include all the subnet. But best part, guys, if you are not able to deal with that, what you can use the subnet calculator as well. Because if somebody is not having the good idea of subnetting, you can use the subnet calculator. So like I will just put here 151.0.0, and if I'll go here and if I'll just put calculate, you will able to see it will include the range from here till here to here, right? And instead of this, we can also use that one, 248, calculate for 248. And when you will calculate for 248, you can see this is the range, right? And this, I think 248 will fulfill our requirement, right? So the best way, just use the help of subnet calculator as well if you don't know, if you don't have any, if you don't have an idea of these things, right? 248.0. I think here we will not able to define. You have to just run simply this particular. That's it. Do right, ma'am. This is the one thing which you need to do. In similar way, you can go inside next router, inside R2, enable conft router rep version 2, no auto summary, and you can include these two networks like network 10.1.0.0, 10.1.1.0. Exit. Do right, ma'am. Now you can go here into inside R3 router, conft router rep version 2, no auto summary, then network 10.1.2.0, 3.0, like that you can go for 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, and 7.0. Exit out. Do right, ma'am. Save the configuration. Now you can go here into DMZ-R1 router. Enable conft router rep version 2, no auto summary, network 10.2.0.0, and 10.2.0.0 will include everything. Okay. Do right, ma'am. Go here and just do the same thing. Conft router rep version 2, no auto summary, and network 10.3.0.0. Exit out. Do right, ma'am. Once we will complete that part, now we will go for the Palo Alto configuration. So you have to go to into this virtual router. Now in virtual router, I will delete this one, not needed, because this we have just created for testing purpose. I'll go into this VR0. I'll go into rep here. And now what I will do, once you will go into this rep, now you have to basically do the things. So first of all, the first activity which you need to perform here, which is you have to enable this rep, reject default route. You can just keep this one if you want. If you want to reject the default route which is coming from any other device, we will not configure anything with regards to BFD for now. I'll go into interface tab and I'll just click on add here and just I'll add my interface Ethernet one by one. I'll enable and everything I will just leave default. Click on OK. Go here. These are just normal mode and other things. Go here and add another interface. Go here and add the next interface. Go here and add the next interface. Now this is the one which we need to do. And now you will see all our interface has been added here. Here you can define the timers, authentication profile, export routes, right? If you want it. Because see, RIP is a very small protocol. So I'll just go here, just click on OK. Go here and do the commit now. Debug, routing, protocol. So if you want, you can run the debugging as well, debugging routing, dynamic routes. So these are the some command basically. You can add the debug at the global level, right? What you want to run at the debug level, debug routing global on, right? Tail follow, yes, mp log, route d dot log. This is the daemon where you can able to see the details with regards to your routing. Now you can see the details here using action unset, no change. This is the IP details, other things you can able to see everything here. These are the packets details, right? RIP entry has been activated successfully. Means we are running RIP here, right? So you will able to see everything. So this is the daemon. If you have configured anything, if something is not, something wrong is happening, this is the daemon where you have to check. But I highly recommend do not run this command if you don't need it. Configure at info level. Now you can run this console routing, route. Now you can see we have all the routes. Right? We have all the routes here. 10.1.0 series, 2. Series, 3. Series, and 150 series. Means all the routes I have received. You can run this command as well. So routing fib. This is your fib table, and we have everything in your fib table as well. So routing protocol RIP. You can run this on peers. You can able to see what are the RIP peers we will be having. So we have one peer, this one, which is my inside R1. Then we have inside R2. Sorry, this is 10.2.0.1, which is your DMZ1, DMZ2, and this is your outside R1, right? Summary, you can run this summary command. So you will get the some summary details here. You can run this command interfaces. You will able to see what is the interface, right? Like virtual router interface details, IP address, send allowed, received allowed, right? All these things. Database, you can able to see your RIP database here. This is your routing RIP protocol database basically. So these are the few commands which you need to know. Now I'll go here into my outside R1 router, exit out. I'll increase the size here as well. So IP route, and you can see I have all the routing here as well, right? So from this outside R1, if I'll do the ping to 10.1.7.1, ping is working. If I'll do the ping to 10.2.7.1, ping is working. 10.2. Not 8 because 8 is not available. So guys, you can see now I have a end-to-end routing, right? And I can able to initiate a ping, and ping is also working fine. 10.3.7.1, right? So session all, you can see we have the ping session as well, right? Even though if I from this router or from anyone, let me just go on inside R3. From this I can able to do the telnet on 10.3.5.1. Cisco password also Cisco. See, I'll get the access of DMZ5, and you know this traffic is going through the Palo Alto. And if you run this console session all filter application telnet, you will get, see, there is a one telnet active telnet session. Exit. If you will try like SHS on 151.7.1, no user specified or nor available for SHS client. Ping to 151.7.1. SHS press the question mark -L, username is Cisco. Press the question mark if you want to define the port detail and other things. Now give the IP address like 151.6.1 Cisco, and you can able to take the SHS as well, and you will see the session detail for SHS as well here. Means everything is working fine. Our routing configuration is working perfectly fine, right? And if you want to create a CLI script for that, so in Palo Alto Firewall, if you run this command, configure so network virtual router VR0 protocol rep. Now you can see this is the command which you need to run in your Palo Alto Firewall to configure the rep. CLI is guys pretty easy, but if you know the GUI, you can easily able to create the CLI script. This is the one. What this command will enable the rep routing in your virtual router VR0 in Palo Alto. And after that, you have to add these interfaces. Inside your rep, that's it. Configuration is guys very straightforward. Okay, so guys, this is all about your rep protocol lab in your Palo Alto Firewall, and we have successfully completed that lab. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Take care. And please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Take care. Bye.